Quickfill gasoline is made right here in America. United Refining Company, who operates Quickfill, refines its gasoline from North American crude oil in Warren, Pennsylvania. When you buy United Refining Company gasoline at Quickfill, you keep jobs and businesses in America, and you keep American families strong. You don't need to send your money overseas when you buy gasoline. Buy American-made gasoline at Quickfill. Quickfill, driving America.
From baggage claim to pajamas in 10 minutes. Erie International Airport. Fly with ERI.com.
Fly Erie International Airport to Charlotte on American Airlines, your nonstop gateway to the world. Also, we have Breeze Airways flying nonstop to Orlando and Tampa, Florida. A great low-cost carrier providing excellent service to the regional community. Fly Erie International for your travel needs.
Fly with ERI.com.
Welcome to TalkErie.com's Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast. Every day, we tackle the biggest issues that the Erie, PA region faces. Stay informed and involved as we advance the narrative of Erie. Now, here's Joel Natale.
We start our week off with New Year, New You fitness chat, and we've got Chris Rosato from... am I saying that right, Chris?
Yep.
From Ascend Erie, across the street neighbors here, and you're well into your second year of service to our community here. Chris, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always an exciting time, that new year, right? Mm-hmm. And what are we going to do? How are we going to do things differently? And this is it's such a perfect time for a fresh start.
Let's get caught up on what's been going on at Ascend now. Celebrated what was your first anniversary back in November, right?
Yep, our anniversary.
Of course. Yeah, I like that. How did the first year go? I mean...
Yeah, the first year was great. I mean, we started with, a large number of existing climbers who we didn't know how many people already were climbing in Erie, which was great. So we had a strong base at the start of people who were already climbing, and a terrific base of people who thought, climbing sounds fun, I'm going to take a chance on it.
Sure.
We had founding membership deals going on, and we had so many people take that dive with us, which was excellent. And then as the year went on, people started telling their friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And climbing is one of those things that it's a social sport.
Right.
Going to the gym alone is kind of more commonplace,
mm-hmm.
but going to a climbing gym, you want to bring a friend, and you want to bring multiple friends and bring different people, and everyone wants to try it.
Parents are bringing their kids,
Yep.
the whole shooting match.
So people spread the word about us, and especially hosting birthday parties. We'll host some birthday parties throughout the year. It took a little bit of time, but once people found out, hey, my kid hosted a birthday party, your kid should host their birthday party
right.
there. Everything has kind of picked up as more people are talking about us and spreading the word.
That's fantastic. And are you hitting your marks? Again, there's a lot of hand-wringing that goes on with this
Mm-hmm.
when something so new and so groundbreaking as building a 50,000 square foot building with 5 stories in what used to be Skid Row around here. And now, we're trying to activate this with the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. Mm-hmm. But so the question is, are you hitting your marks? Are you hitting your projections?
Yeah, we're really excited about the progression that we've had. I think when we opened up, it was hard to tell. Erie has never had a climbing gym, right?
There's a lot of enthusiasm.
Exactly. There's enthusiasm about it. And so we've been really encouraged by what we've seen so far, by the growth that we've seen. Obviously, we hope to keep growing and
Mm-hmm.
we definitely have room for more people to come into the gym, but we've been very happy with how the first year plus has gone so far.
I'm interested in clientele, as far as is this appealing to Gannon students? Does it appeal to Hammett nurses? Who's coming to the gym?
Yeah, and this is going to sound so cliche, but it's everyone, right?
Okay,
it is all of those things. We have a good number of college students, especially with Gannon being so close by, but Barron as well.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last year, we've had climbing clubs pop up at Gannon, Barron, and now Mercyhurst has an extreme sports club. And so those climbing clubs are popping up. They're coming in. So the college students, absolutely. The professionals working downtown or in the area who come in after work, Monday through Friday, about 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 are our busiest times.
Yeah, I'm seeing it every, because we're on the air during that time period. It's like, boy, there's a really long line that's going into the gym.
Yep. And then weekends tend to be more of our non-members. They tend to be day pass users, and especially those families who are coming in looking for things to do. We kind of ended up on the rotation, right? So once a month, maybe the group family tries to go do something fun, and we ended up on that rotation, which is excellent. And that's what we want to be. And so we really do kind of appeal to all sorts of different people, whether they've been climbing their whole lives, they've never climbed before, whether they're young, old, or whatever that may be.
Talk about some of the other elements. Again, we have the big wall in the back. You have the what do they call these? The boulders up front or whatever. But you do have machines, and you're really big in yoga. So can you talk about all that?
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about joining a climbing gym, right? Most climbing gyms around the country are starting to become a little more holistic, and Ascend was founded with that principle in mind. So we do have climbing you can do without a harness, without climbing, tall walls, no ropes involved. And then we have up to a 52-foot high wall. But outside of that, we also do have a yoga studio. So we offer yoga classes throughout the week, different times, morning and evening. Weekends, we're adding some new instructors right now and adding some new classes. So it's a new year, new us for yoga as well. And then fitness as well. We have a whole fitness area with tons of weights, cardio equipment, and instructors with group classes as well. So it's not just one thing. It can be a climbing gym where you go work out and take a yoga class every once in a while. We could be your yoga pass or membership where then you get to climb every once in a while.
Interesting. Yeah. The what would you say the levels are? I mean, is there a significant number of people that are like the true believers? We were just talking about your other passion, which is curling, and again, there's those people that are all in. There's those people that are all in on climbing.
Yes.
I mean, what is that growing? I would imagine it is.
Yeah, you can sort of think of it like a bell curve, right? And so at the low end, you've got the people who've never climbed before. You very quickly progress out of that because you can only have never climbed until you climb once. And so the bulk of the people at our gym are somewhere in the middle, right? They're somewhat decent climbers. They climb somewhat regularly, up to a certain difficulty. And then there's a small selection of people who are climbing 3, 4, 5 times a week. They're even competing in competitions, in the region, and really, taking it very seriously. And that's great for them. And there's some people who just want to climb every once in a while and hang out with their friends. And that's great for them. And the beautiful part of the sport is, the same section of a wall can have something that appeals to the person who is competing and this is their life, and also somebody who this is their first time. They can climb side by side the same wall, similar problems, but obviously different difficulties.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of overlap all over the place.
So each one of those runs is kind of labeled. Like, is there a double diamond or whatever?
Yeah, you can think of it kind of like that. Yeah. So
there's the bunny hill, and then there's a double diamond, and everything in between.
Right. And so it's kind of just like that. We call our problems routes, right? So it's similar to kind of that like skiing analogy. And every route is tagged with a difficulty grade.
Sure.
The lowest difficulty on, for instance, our rope routes would be a 5.6, which is, I always liken it to a ladder. If you can climb a ladder, you can come climb a 5.6. A 5.7 is a little bit more difficult. So you can scale up until what your difficulty is. And the beautiful part about climbing is there's always going to be something that's harder than you can do. Even if you are the best climber in our gym, there is something in the gym that you probably can't finish, or it will take you a long time working on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That amazes me that you're able to design it that way.
Yeah, and that's our route setting team is phenomenal. So we have a team at the gym whose job is to clean the routes off every few weeks or so. In different
what does that
sections.
entail? Yeah.
So they take all the holds off the wall in that area. And then they rebuild a new route with whatever.
I had no
difficulty.
idea. I thought there was one and done.
Nope.
It's totally or you can manipulate it. It sounds like.
Yeah, if you come to the gym, I mean, I don't recommend waiting a few months in between visits, but if you did come back a few months later, you might not see a single route that you saw the last time you were there.
Holy moly. I had no idea that that's how you guys did that.
Yeah.
So you're just always creating, and and designing.
Yes.
On the back wall.
Yeah,
That's
our route
wild.
setters are really artists of the trade, right? And really what we're selling when we're selling our climbing gym membership is we're selling the climbing. And so if it was just the same stuff all the time, you'd kind of get bored of it
Yeah,
after
I would
a while.
think, yeah.
But they are really constantly innovating, constantly coming up with new ideas, being inspired by things they see. And it's just incredible what they're able to do.
That's kind of where the analogy with skiing kind of breaks down, because you don't generally change your ski route on a double diamond. It's it just might be what if you want to take the mogul or not, or if you want to take the jumps or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. That is amazing. Let's talk about the new year. People wanting to kind of jump in, and let's talk about what are some of those entry points that you guys have at Ascend.
In terms
So, like,
of,
if I'm walking in off the street and say, I want a guest pass, and I want to see if this is something I want to be interested in.
Yeah.
So what would that be proceed?
So the very first thing I would want to tell anyone is our gym is quite larger than you might think. If you just saw it from State Street, there's way more to the gym.
Right.
And I want to show it to you. So come in anytime, we'll give you a tour. And there's no ask at the end of the tour. There's no obligation for anything. At the very least, come inside, take a 5-10 minute tour. We'll show you everything we have. Okay. If you want to climb, great. We do have guest passes, or we have day passes. So you can climb for the day, and it's literally for the whole day. So you can come in the morning, climb for a few hours, go get lunch, come back, bring your friends, whatever works.
Wow.
But the day pass is good for literally the whole day. It's not just 1 or 2 hours.
And you're open from what to what generally on a weekday kind of thing?
So weekdays, we're open Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we open at 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And then we're open till 10 p.m. And then weekends, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
So we do have day passes available, and then we have memberships as well. We have monthly memberships where you can come every single day, take all the yoga and fitness classes you want. Obviously, tons of discounts. If people sign up right now in January, we have a membership deal where you can get $20.25 in store credit.
Nice.
So a good 2025 deal there. But yeah, we make it as easy as possible. We want you to come in, take a tour. You can get the day pass with, again, no obligation, no strings attached to it. And if at the end of that day you decide, I want to come back or I want to get that membership, we'll take the day pass off the membership price as well.
Wow.
So we're just here trying to help you out and trying to get you in the door.
Yeah.
All year round, Frontier Home Products and Design has what you need to make your home comfortable and beautiful. Relax on a new timber tech deck designed by Frontier's experts. A new fireplace from Frontier Home Products Fireplace Gallery adds warmth and serenity to any home. Beauty and versatility at Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 4213 Peachtree, 5th next to the Bayfront Highway.
Frontier Home Products and Design Center. Discover a new frontier.
PA contractor number PA039007.
Get paid to drive. Start a new career behind the wheel at the EMTA. If you are looking for a high-paying and rewarding career with full benefits and paid training, stop by or apply online today with the EMTA. Plus, EMTA riders can now enjoy free Wi-Fi on new, clean, and environmentally friendly buses to travel all over Erie County. Visit ridethee.com for more information.
Get on board EMTA. Get on board EMTA. Get on board.
Going in, and let's say you want to do a monthly pass, what kind of equipment, what kind of gear would that person have to think about? Again, I'm thinking about people making these resolutions and they're saying, you know what, I'm driving past the climbing gym every day on my way to the hospital or on my way to the courthouse. I might want to do this thing.
Yeah. So like most gyms, you're probably going to want to wear some athletic type clothing, stuff you can move around in. I often climb in my jeans, so you can climb in kind of anything, but just make sure you're ready for it to potentially be stretched in and things like that.
Yeah.
But you'll have to have climbing shoes. But we have climbing shoes, so kind of like bowling in that aspect.
Yes.
And your first time that you come in, we'll rent you the shoes and chalk you might need for free. It's on the house the first time in. And then after that, you can rent them from us or we can sell them to you. We sell shoes, we sell chalk. And then if you want to climb our taller walls, which is not necessary because we have plenty to do without them, But if you wanted to, you would need a harness, which again, we can rent you.
Okay. And the chalk is like in a bundle, or is that something you carry? Or?
Yeah. So if you imagine a rock climber, you tend to see a little bag hanging off their waist.
Okay, sure.
And so that's their chalk bag. And so there's some chalk inside of it. It kind of just helps prevent your hands from clamming up while you're climbing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And let's talk about when you're going for climbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just cardio, right? I mean, we're talking about strength training. Can you talk about this physiological aspects of climbing?
Yeah. So my favorite thing that I hear from new climbers is they come back up to the front desk and they go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sore. I just had one of the best workouts ever, and I didn't feel like I was working out." Mm-hmm. And so, and I'm not saying that it is the best workout ever, okay, for the fitness gurus who are listening. But what I'm saying is,
it might be better than these chair workouts that are on every other YouTube ad, right?
Yeah, it is a mostly a strength-based workout.
Okay.
That works muscles that you've probably never worked or even knew you had. So, for instance, your forearms will be sore. Your hands tend to give out. Literally, the tendons in your hands will be tired before the rest of your body is tired.
Is that right?
The first time you come climb. So you're going to be working out, different muscle groups. And of course, that's good. Being active in general is super helpful, as we know. There's a cardio element to it, especially if you're climbing the taller walls. Cardiovascular health is great, for all ages especially. And so it really does work out kind of every aspect of the body. Most new climbers use their arms mostly, but legs really help with your climbing. So as they develop, they start using their legs more. And then, your core strength can be really helpful. Sure. Depending on the route or the movement you're trying to do as well.
I don't know how you wouldn't use your legs.
It's so most people, as I say, we say, if you can climb a ladder, we have stuff you can climb. Right. But a lot of, especially younger climbers, they're so incensed with how strong their arms are, right? You're used to lifting things up, and so you're used to pulling things up, that you kind of forget that your legs are pretty strong. They carry us every day of the week, right?
Right. Yes.
If you are walking on your legs, they're able to walk upstairs, walk up ladders, and so you can use them as well. But it's not intuitive when you're on the wall.
Chris Rosato's with us from Ascend Climbing Gym across the street here on State Street, 5th and State. Chris, when people are talking about, okay, it's New Year's resolution, I need to get fit. Again, you just mentioned the physiological aspects of this. Mm-hmm. But how do you get into something? What's some of your advice to getting into like a routine that's not going to burn somebody out, I guess?
Yeah. So, obviously with most things, you don't want to try to overdo it too quickly.
Yeah.
And climbing is a really good example for that as well. Like I said, your fingers are going to get super sore, right? And some people are like, I'm going to go to the climbing gym every day of the week because it just feels like fun. Mm-hmm. Well, before long, your fingers are kind of, torn up or really sore, that kind of stuff. So taking breaks in between days is super helpful. Climbing really reinforces that. And then, if you balance that out with taking a yoga class or maybe even using the fitness area or taking a fitness class, that can be really helpful for you as well. Switching it up, the variety, keeping things interesting for you. Climbing is fun, as we've talked about, and things that are fun tend to stick a little bit better, right?
That's interesting, yeah.
It's a little bit easier to come back to that thing when you enjoyed yourself, even if you're feeling sore, than that thing that was really hard to talk yourself into. The other aspect is that climbing is a social activity, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you bring a friend or you make a friend at the climbing gym, which, by the way, is a lot easier to do at a climbing gym than, a traditional gym setting.
Right.
Because everyone just wants to talk about that thing that you're working on, that they're working on, and how can we solve it. So if you have a friend, if you have a partner you're working on something with, if you make a plan to come back to the gym together, more likely for it to stick as well. So there's all these things that are kind of baked into climbing that make it more likely for you to want to return and for you to keep up with it.
You mentioned something there about, figuring out the problem. Mm-hmm. There's your brain synapses seem to be really going. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
There's a lot of for lack of a better word, strategery going on here.
Yeah, the strategery. So, so we really do. We refer to the routes as problems because they are problems you have to solve. And so climbing is that rare thing that's both a physical and a mental challenge. And it's mentally a challenge in two ways. One is, I have to figure out what my body needs to do in order to get to the top of the wall. Now, I then have to do the physical part of my body actually doing that thing.
Yeah.
But the other mental challenge can be, are you afraid of heights?
Yeah, we talked about that last time you were in, because you are. Right?
I am afraid of heights. Yeah,
yes.
That's part of the reason I love the sport so much.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing greater than that feeling of I was terrified and I did it anyways.
Wow.
You overcome that challenge.
That is it really is remarkable when you think about it, as far as that you could, do this, overcome your fears, make a plan, and strategize how you get up there. Okay, I've got like 3 minutes left with you, and so I think we need to walk people through, maybe do an invitation of how folks could kind of engage into the Ascend climbing gym in Erie. First off, logistically, you got parking in the back. I mean, just getting here is not a problem because there's a big ramp you can park at, right?
Yep, the EDDC just opened a few months ago, the parking structure that you can reach it on Peach between 5th and 4th. So many spots, and it's incredible. That's the best place to park in terms of convenience. There's street parking all around in the area.
Do you have to go outside to come back in?
You do have to go outside.
All right.
It's not directly connected.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then you go to the front desk and say, hey.
Yep, just walk right into the front desk. Walk right up to the front desk and say, "Hey, I've never been here before. I heard Chris on the radio. I'd love to get a tour, or I'd love to try it out." You can also find us online at ascendclimbing.com. There's a page specifically for our Erie location, and there's all sorts of information for first timers, what memberships look like, what our programs look like. We have youth classes, yoga classes, fitness classes, climbing classes that are meant for beginners, and climbing classes for people who are a little bit further along. There's so much information on our website, but also our front desk staff know all of that information and are more than welcome to tell you all about it.
That's remarkable, and again, the concept of doing something now, moving now, and it's totally climate controlled, and
it's a little more fun than running outside right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, indoors. Obviously, the whole facility is indoors. Like you said, climate controlled.
Yeah.
And you can get your body moving, so you warm up, and you also can hang out in the building. Even if you don't have a membership, if you have a day pass, you can come hang out. We have free Wi-Fi. A lot of people choose to work from.
Is that right?
Work from the gym and use the Wi-Fi. Take their meetings, and in between projects, kind of reward yourself with maybe 5-10 minutes of climbing.
I love it. Well, Chris, we appreciate you taking the time here, and it's exciting to see. Every once in a while we'll see like groups of, let's say, kids from Cathedral Prep coming through, or it's obvious Gannon students, and of course families coming through. It's amazing, and I'm so glad it's working out well. I feel like this asset goes beyond. Just for that enthusiast, but it really is an economic, foundational impact for quality of life here in Erie.
It's a fantastic asset for the downtown area. Whether it's a family who's looking to spend the whole day down here, you've got the Children's Museum, the Art Museum potentially, and then the climbing gym. You can come to the climbing gym and try out the restaurants. It benefits the other businesses, and the other businesses benefit us as
Absolutely.
well. We're all working together, and the Downtown Partnership and the EDDC have done a great job of building those synergies with the different businesses they've brought in.
There's no doubt about it. Again, your website is
ascendclimbing.com, and like I said, this is the best month to join. You get $20.25 in store credit if you start your membership this month. Come on in and try Day Pass.
Chris Rosato from the Ascend Climbing Gym across the street here from our studios here at Talk Erie. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Joel.
You've been listening to The Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast from TalkErie.com. Subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher and get involved by emailing joel@TalkErie.com.